Greetings, my lovelies. This is that creepy bald guy, and welcome to my review of Star Trek Beyond, which unfortunately is not about the Enterprise encountering one of the seven gates of hell. But once you get past that disappointment, you have a pretty cool movie. And if you get that joke, I shall inseminate you with my children. Now, before I begin my critique, I'm going to remind all of you that I am not a Trekkie. I actually tried watching the original series on Netflix once, but it ended up restoring my virginity, so I decided that enough was enough. Alright, I'm just joking with you. I never actually lost my virginity. It just wasn't my kind of show. That's all I meant. Nothing more. Isn't that right, Mr. Sockface?
Kill me.
No. Now return from whence you came. But I've enjoyed this new action-oriented reboot continuity, even though I understand that it is not an accurate reflection of the source material. So I totally get why certain purists despise these movies. Okay, are we just going to ignore that thing with the sock? Because that was pretty fucking weird. I guess we are. So, awkward segue. And if you are one of these people who disliked the previous two flicks, Star Trek Beyond is probably not going to be for you, as it continues the trend begun by J.J. Abrams. I guess it's a little closer, considering that it's steadier paced, focuses a little bit more on space exploration, and even contains just a little bit of philosophy. But in terms of tone and intent, Star Trek Beyond is aiming to be awesome popcorn fun. I was wary of Justin Lin's involvement as the director, but he does a great job at emulating the energetic style of J.J. Abrams while adding his own flourishes as well. The special effects, both CGI and makeup, were eye-popping and mostly convincing, with a lot of detail being put into the set and creature designs. There were a lot of really unconventional camera angles, and along with the excellent empowering shots, they draw a lot of attention to how majestic and inspiring these visuals are. And the music, oh my god, the music. The score is a gorgeous rendition of the classic Star Trek theme, with some very emotionally driven variations that enhanced the mood and made everything feel that much more epic and exciting. I liked how this one spent more time on the alien planet, whereas the previous two flicks primarily took place in space, giving this one some new and fresh content, some different scenarios for our characters to encounter. The setting is campy and colorful, which is a nice contrast to the monotony of space, but what makes these films special to me is that the characters all showcase a lot of personality, and the actors are given a lot of room to perform. I won't say that all of their roles have increased, but this feels much more like an ensemble piece than its predecessors did, and it was nice seeing the likes of Chekhov and Sulu outside of their element. Speaking of which, rest in peace, Anton Yelchin. I found his death to be very, very sad, and every scene he was in was very bittersweet for me. Not every character arc connected with me, as some of them are very routine. Kirk intends to retire because he's getting restless, and Spock is considering the same for his own reasons, which are both very predictable. You know exactly where they're going to go, and lackluster compared to their previous internal journeys. But I liked how you could see how much they've developed over the years. Kirk in particular seems a lot more mature. He's nowhere near as reckless as he used to be. So at least they're not rehashing the whole brash, hot-headed characterization that Chris Pine's Kirk had before. The cast just has great chemistry, and their funny and sometimes dramatic interactions were very compelling. I even liked the new cast, as Idris Elba's crawl was terrifying, and his motivations were very interesting. Kayla, played by Sophia Butella, I doubt I'm pronouncing that correctly, was also an intriguing and likable character, but at the same time, I don't think she was utilized very well. At times, she really did seem like an afterthought, as if the story had absolutely no idea what to do with her, so she became practically a background decoration. But then other times, she almost steals the spotlight, where the entire narrative is built around this character. So I wasn't really entirely sure I agreed with how they used her, but I still enjoyed the characterization and wouldn't even mind if she became a Star Trek regular. Now, there are still more flaws, although Into Darkness probably had more noticeable flaws, even though I actually prefer that movie more. The ending was very, very silly, primarily with its use of music in relation to the plot. But do you know what bothered me the most? This rebooted franchise has already played too many of its hands, and I'm not even referring to the original series or the films which took place in its continuity. I am just talking about Star Trek, Star Trek Into Darkness, and Star Trek Beyond. And we have now seen the Enterprise get destroyed twice, the Federation be put in peril 3 times, Spock and Uhura have relationship problems twice, and Captain Kirk continues to feel like he's living in his father's shadow, which made sense in Star Trek Into Darkness, but not so much in Star Trek Beyond because Kirk proved he was very much his father's son. He died for the sake of his crew. And yeah, he got resurrected, but he did not know that at the time. So the source of those insecurities no longer make any sense. But the real problem is I've become accustomed to these stakes and dilemmas, so they no longer faze me as much. But that's more of a problem with this series than with this individual movie, so what else can they do other than repeat? I feel like they should scale things down for future sequels, as it's difficult to escalate the stakes at this point. I mean, seriously, are they going to wreck the Enterprise every single movie now? Still, Star Trek Beyond contains a lot of entertainment value for someone who likes these kinds of films, and it's probably even my favorite movie of this summer so far. And granted, the more I think about it, the more I realize that that's faint praise, but I'd rate it a 7 out of 10. It doesn't break any new ground, but it covers its conquered territory efficiently, and it complements its predecessors nicely, even if it doesn't really surpass them. Definitely check this one out in theaters if you liked its predecessors, whereas if you were merely indifferent to them, you might just want to wait till it comes out on DVD or Blu-ray, and if you were never a fan, then don't bother. I did not do a written review of this, but I have done written reviews of other stuff, so check out my website for those. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I hope you enjoyed this video, so please comment and let me know what you think about this review and the movie itself. And I shall see you guys in your sleep. Kill me!